All right, well, good morning to you from well, from the TA from the
Please
TA
drive to highlighted route.
over here in, hang on, Fort Bridger. Good morning to you from Fort Bridger, Wyoming. I am at the TA where I spent the night last night and fueled up. I guess I fueled up and then spent the night, actually. And let's see here, what's going on here? It is Saturday, September 19th. The local time is 11 a.m. And the current temperature outside will probably not give me a good reading. It's telling me 63 degrees. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit colder than that, I figure. The truck's been sitting all night running, so. And whatever it is windy. It's windy. Like, oh boy, here we go kind of windy. Yeah. So it's going to be an adventure, I think. But I'm going to make it happen. What else do we got here? What other kind of stats can I give you? We're at an elevation of 7,298 feet. And I have 843 miles to go to reach my destination of Patterson, California. And, well, traffic permitting, that shouldn't be a problem. Of course, you just never know what can happen, and I'll explain that in a minute once I get underway here. Because last night, oh boy, wow. Last night was just, wow. Yeah, I'll explain it here in a minute after I get underway. I should have arrived here far earlier than I did. What time did I arrive here? You know what? I don't have an exact recollection what the time was when I did arrive here, but I don't know. I guess it was...
Turn right on Bigelow Road, then turn right.
It was...
Turn right on I-80 West.
I don't know. I think like midnight or midnight 30 or something. Let me think about that for a minute. Yeah, you can see them windmills pumping, boy. Them windmills are all moving. Well, I guess not all of them. But the majority of them are, or wind turbines rather. And the ones that are moving, they are moving. If you ever get a chance, or
Continue on I-80.
have a few minutes to kill and want to watch some interesting video, go watch on YouTube wind turbine fails. Because when them things, the way they're made, because they put them in the highest wind areas. Oh yeah, of course, obviously. So what they have to do with them to keep them under control is they put like this like kind of braking system on them, so they can only spin at a certain RPMs. They can't get up to full speed, right? Because what happens is when that brake system fails, they begin to spin completely out of control. And I mean, I've seen a few videos of it, and it's gnarly looking. And then inevitably what happens is they just essentially explode. They just rip themselves apart. And these big old blades go flying in all directions, and all pieces of the motor go flying in directions. It's pretty crazy. It's a sight to see. And that's on video. I can't imagine what it would be like in live, to see it happen. But yep, it can happen. And the way the winds are today definitely kind of brings that home. It's like, wow, yeah, I can imagine. So So yeah. So I didn't end up getting to the TA until, let me see here. If it's 11, I woke up at, so I guess it was like 11:30. But I was on schedule to arrive there at 10 or 9:45. My whole thinking was I'm going to get there, fairly early last night, easily find a parking slip and go ahead and crash out, and then rise even earlier this morning, and then that way, just whatever. Then that way, I would be getting to Patterson earlier in the day-to-day, and completely on time and, early. Well, I mean, I'm going to be early anyways, regardless. My load doesn't, it's not scheduled to deliver until tomorrow at like 3 or something. So I'll be early anyways. But so I'm cruising along, and I had just gone through this 2-lane split section area where they were doing road work, and they had split the lanes into two, both oncoming lanes with just cones in the middle. And it was dark, and they had this speed limit at 65. No problems, no worries. The only thing was, like, my windshield was just coated with bugs. I mean, it was littered with them, So it made that a very interesting thing, because it just was. It was interesting. It was windy, and it was relatively fast, and there was more traffic coming against me than there was with me. I was out there pretty well alone. So it was just interesting. So anyways, we get through that, no problem. And in about 5 miles, there's one of these digital signs over the highway saying 35 miles ahead, multi-vehicle crash, be prepared to stop. So I'm like, okay, well, shoot, 35 miles in advance, that's great notice, thank you. So I start, after a period of time, once I'm kind of in a, straight section, I start pulling up, wherever that would be, 35 miles ahead, as I'm driving on my, on Sheila there. And I see there's a, almost like a frontage road, and it was Wyoming 374. And it appeared that it would, that according to the amount of miles, that I would be able to get on that and go around whatever this crash was. The thing is, it was dark. I'm driving, so I couldn't really investigate it like, online or anything like that, or go to satellite images, get a better idea of what it would, be, because I don't know if it's going to wind up being a, little tiny windy road or what, but it's, Wyoming 374, it's going to be a highway, It would be common sense to see that if it's labeled as a highway, it's going to be acceptable for big trucks. So so I called the boss, and I'm like, as I'm getting closer, and actually I call him, he didn't pick up, then he calls me back as I'm getting closer, and I tell him, I was like, hey, so there's a multi-vehicle crash. It says, be prepared to stop. I'm looking at 374. Is that a good option? Oh, no, just stay on the interstate, whatever it is. It should clear fast unless it's a fatality. But if it happens, you don't want to get off the interstate because it could be a windy road up there in the mountains. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, fair enough. So we get up there, and I could see it from way back, and it was just tail lights, right? And I get up there, and it's just dead stopped. So here I am sitting there, and I'm looking at my GPS on the map, and I can see that 374 is just to the right of me, going parallel with the highway, with the interstate. And lo and behold, there goes along a big old semi-truck, car hauler, going around this accident behind me. And I'm getting on the radio, and a bunch of guys were sitting there talking on the radio on the CB. And I'm like, man, and I was looking at 374 from, 20 miles back, and just said, heck with it, and these guys are like, yeah. He's like, I saw it too, and now I'm kicking myself. So we ended up sitting there, stopped on the interstate without moving an inch for an hour and 45 minutes. Crazy. Just crazy. I should have just gone with my gut and gone ahead and taken 374, and I would have gotten to the TA nice and early like I had, planned. Uh-oh, I just lost my gears. And yeah, I would have, gotten up earlier, but oh well, it is what it is. Things like that, I guess, happen for a reason, I guess. Wow, Kelly, find your gears. I guess I got the cruise control on. Help if I turned it off. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I just totally lost my gears right there and lost all my freaking momentum. Son of a bitch. Oh well, nobody's on my ass anyway, screw them. Come on, baby. Come on, big truck. Yeah, that was a big flub right there. I didn't realize how fast I was going. Thought I needed to shift into ninth. I was actually going 65. There's no way I can get into ninth at 65. So I lost 10th, and then slowed down so much, that I had to drop down into ninth, and then I almost couldn't get into ninth. Oops, that was a rookie mistake. Oh, I got the freaking engine brake on. Son of a bitch. I don't know why I keep doing that. I put it on going down these grades and then forget all about it. And then wonder why I can't get into gear. Moron. Moronski. Oh, here comes another grade, Cal. Don't forget about your engine brake when you get out of it. If you're wondering, I am cooking along at 75, not very fast. Yeah, so while we were sitting there, and there was a bunch of us on the radio, shooting the shit with each other, and obviously, all the traffic that was coming in from behind us was now, building it up, right? Like like a brick wall. All these trucks and cars are just piling on, and so the length of this thing is going from like 3 miles to like 10 miles back from what we can hear on the radio. And so of course that far back there was trucks that had the opportunity and had the option of getting on the 374, and that's exactly what was happening. Next thing you know, we're just watching all these big old semis taking 374 off to the right of us. We're watching them, and they're talking to us on the radio. Boy, man, you guys are in it. You guys are going to be sitting a while. That's a long one. Oh, but it looks pretty, all the lights. And, all this stuff. And then some of the guys were like, letting us know what it looked like in the front, how bad it was. And I guess it was pretty bad. It was like a pickup truck and a car, I guess, tangled with each other. They said something like, You know, one guy used the term, he looked like a pretzel, you know, the pickup truck, so it was pretty bad, I guess, but whatever. It finally opened up and we got out of there. So anyhow, so that's the update for the night in the morning, and I guess I'll probably, well, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll be back later once I get into Utah. See ya.